this is Rise and welcome to another video. I'll be showcasing you a Dragonite double steel team that I was having some fun with in the Ultra League. Got me to about expert range with this team featuring Shadow Dragonite, Registeel, Shiny, and Escavalier in the Open Ultra League, of course. And I think Dragonite is just so menacing with it's already been menacing, right, with that combination of the oppressive Dragon Breath damage as well as Dragon Claw. But now with that access to superpower, you're not quite as walled by certain steel types. It just makes it even more dangerous. So we were in that favorable lead matchup, and now we're here against the Cresselia. You saw me build up a little bit of energy with my Dragonite before going into Reggie, and that wasn't necessarily to attempt to catch. That was just because I know the fast moves aren't threatening from the Cresselia towards my Reggie. So, the fast moves aren't threatening towards my Dragonite. So I might as well build up some energy while I'm in there and then save it for later and have Registeel now for the Cresselia just to wall it. In comes Escavalier, which makes things a little tricky. I end up deciding to catch because I knew he'd want to get off that drill run as soon as possible. So we make a nice catch here from the drill run. I'm debating whether I want to bait or not. I decide it looks like I can get to 2 superpowers, so I feel like that's better than risking the bait. He does shield, he makes the right call. And I'm like, do I even need to shield this? I'm debating. I'm like, okay, yeah, I can get off the superpower. So this Escav might be a little bit of a problem if I'm not able to get this off. So we land the superpower. I have my own Escav as well. And his Escav, not going to get to a move. He knows it's over. And that is a G to the G. So what are the weaknesses to this team? Well, certainly Talonflame in the back is tough. Certain fighters in the back are tough. So that's how you kind of want to lure out Pokemon that your steals might be weak to with the Registeel. And Registeel is a really good safe swap in pretty much any league, just because that Zapkin and Focus Blast coverage is going to threaten so many things. Giratina is certainly tough for Registeel to deal with if they greet Reggie with a Giratina. However, if you get like an early debuff, that matchup is actually quite close, which is crazy, right? Even if they're running Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak, and they're dishing out neutral damage and you're resisting everything, if you get an early debuff, that matchup can potentially get flipped. We are searching for another opponent. Who will face us? And by the way, my next video after this one will be the Hitting Legend Rank video, so stay tuned for that. It's going to be a really long one, which some of you guys, I think most of you guys like, some of you guys not so much, but it'll be a really long video where I have like almost every battle for like a 300 point climb from expert to legend that over the span of like 2 days. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully I keep my voice. I feel like I'm losing my voice today. You guys can probably tell. Going for a drill run here against Toxicroak. This is obviously a favorable matchup for Toxicroak because Tox will resist the counters. And this is really tough because not only do I have to go down a shield, or not only do I have to expend a shield, but this Toxicroak has so much energy to the point where I'm not sure my Dragonite can even farm it down. And this is where it's so important to keep track of how much energy the Tox is at, because if I had been keeping track better, I probably could have caught this Sludge Bomb here on my Registeel and maybe had a good shot. But now it's okay, it wouldn't have mattered. I don't think it would have mattered anyway. Yeah, not a whole lot we could have done this game. We Focus Blast Mr. Scrafty. Maybe try and force him to throw another move at us, but there's just too much ground for Dragonite to cover, especially after eating that Sludge Bomb. You guys saw how much it did. Another move coming from the Scrafty. Foul play takes us out. I'm going to try and commit to a farm down here, and I don't even get the farm down because counter is too strong. Crazy. So a tough loss there in game number 2. As we try and keep the climb going. Next battle, Maids of Honor. Who Who is your maid of honor going to be? Let me know in the comments. I'm just kidding. We've got about a 90% male demographic, so most of y'all watching won't be choosing the maids of honor. But if you are a lady, if you're getting married soon, let me know. Who's your maid of honor going to be? But anyway, we've got Escav versus Greedent. Every time I see Greedent, you guys are probably sick of me. I mentioned how cute it is. I think it's like one of the cutest Pokemon in the game. It's so cute. But we're going to go for a Mega Horn here. You'll see me do this often to either threaten the KO or get a shield. We used an Escavalier team previously with Giratina, Cresselia, and Escav in the back. So we saw those situations with that team as well. Here's another Mega Horn. Is Trev going to shield? It's not. Some big damage. Escav putting in a lot of work here. Definitely going to come in with Dragonite. And we're met by a Steelix. So this is kind of awkward. I decide I'll Superpower and dip. Maybe I'll get a shield from the Steelix. And I do get a shield. And we should be okay here. And our opponent makes our job easier by just throwing straight Crunch here, not even building up to the Earthquake. He does get the debuff, though, so that's a little bit tough. If he had built up to the Earthquake, I would have definitely had to think harder about shielding, but since he just went straight for Crunch, I guess from his point of view, maybe he just wants to go for that debuff as quickly as possible, so that does make sense. Because now these Crunches and Dragon Tails are adding up, so this game is not quite over. That Trevenant also has some energy. It's going to unload here, and I figure, you know what? Like, I don't even need to shield my Reggie at this point because I still have a healthy Dragonite. So I'm able to call the bait, and then I would have, even if it was a Shadow Ball, then I could have just Dragon Breath down and Superpowered the Steelix because Steelix had already taken a Focus Blast, so it was well within Superpower range. And we get a positive set. That's what it's all about. Going positive. I don't know what's up with my voice, chat. I slept in a little bit today. I feel like I've got a frog in my throat. I've got a Toxicroak in my throat. I've got a Seismitoad in my throat. And let's see if Past Rise will eventually search for his battles, or if he'll just stand there staring at his record. Here we go. In the queue. You know, this has like been the most random commentary of one of my videos ever, but I thought if someone, let me know if you think this is a funny idea. Okay, terrible lead. We're gonna have to save swap Escav. I'll actually save swap the Reggie, which I don't think is smart by me. You know, the reason I'm probably save swapping the Reggie is because I think the last time I save swapped an Escav at this point, I had got like hard countered by a Talonflame or something. So I was like, okay, maybe this time I'll try swapping the Reggie. And then it didn't really work out because this would be a lot better for Escav versus Reggie. But my side tangent was going to be that song by Ariana Grande and Justin Bieber, Stuck With You. I thought it'd be funny to make like a parody like Stuck in Q. But it is what it is. It's probably a pretty small target audience I'm going for. Dragon Breath down. We expect the A9 to come in. I decide to Superpower here and then get out. Maybe I get a shield advantage for Escav, but no, they actually let it go. And it's a Stunfisk. Is this still possible? He's going straight Rock Slide. Is this still possible? It's unfortunate that 2 Rock Slides almost take out our Escav because it actually makes it seem like going straight Rock Slide is like the preferred play for him. We just have to try and overfarm as much as possible. That A9 doesn't have much energy. So I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. We just can't mess up here. Oh, he might let this go, actually. Shoot. Oh, smart. I jinxed myself, guys. I jinxed myself. A little bit of mutual lag here. I don't know. I won't bother slowing it down to see how many charms I took versus how many counters they took. So, very well, that lag may have not impacted the outcome. It didn't look like my Escav would get to 2 drill runs there. But you see me restart the app because I was frustrated. Because in the moment, you're like, oh my gosh, that lag totally screwed me. Even though I'm not sure it did in reality, but... So, you know what? In that game, though, my win con, let's say the lag didn't matter. My win con was actually allowing him to get off this third rock slide first, because I would commit the shield and then I would like go up to 2, and that way I would have more energy for the Ninetales. So yeah, I think that was the only win con there. Well played by the opponent to let the G-Fist go. That was very smart. Serena is the next opponent. Shout out to Serena Williams. What a career. The GOAT. So this is where you want to see Trevenant. If you're running my team here. In the lead, Dragonite is able to deal with it a lot better than Escav and Registeel. We are going to respect the Shadow Ball. This is a very baitable opportunity for our opponent because the Shadow Ball he knows threatens to KO. So it's tough not to shield there, but he makes a very nice bait. Our Registeel is, they swap in Gyarados. Our Registeel has a very comfortable matchup here. We're going to go for Zap. I think I try to undercharge. Oh, no, I don't. I'm just like, okay, let's get rid of Gary. I think I thought about the undercharge, and then I was like, well, I want to make sure I don't eat another move so I can live a Shadow Ball. So that's why we just took it out right away. I live the Shadow Ball. I get off a Zap here, which is pretty nice. And we're hoping we get the attack fell, which is nice. I thought about giving up Switch there. Didn't think it was worth it, because I think my Escav might have a really good matchup in back. I elect to commit a shield here. And it's a Tapu Fini. And I'm like, oh, crap. I don't know if I win this. We're going to superpower. It's single resisted as opposed to double resisted. And this is really awkward, right? This is really awkward because the Tapu is going to live this. It's going to get off a move. The Trev is low. Like, we don't want to give farm to the Trev so it could Shadow Ball our Dragonite. This is so awkward. I debate if I should like stop tapping, and I'm like, oh, I got the counter down, so never mind. These were on stream, and I was so scared. I was like, oh, this is so bad. Oh, I'm so scared. This is horrible. And then, oh, okay, never mind. It's a little simpler than I thought. Here we go, approaching the next battle. Blue-eyed Irishman. This guy, I think, is like one of the top leaderboarders right now. Berserker, tough lead. I go straight into my Escav. I'm met by a Blastoise, which isn't that bad. I'm going for my hard-hitting move just because I don't expect Blastoise to shield. It's a very bulky Pokemon. We land the Mega Horn, and it's awkward. Like, it's like, do I want switch advantage here, or would I rather just... Yeah, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, okay, well, if I shield, like, I think he gets to another Hydra and I have to shield again. Or I have to throw my Drill Run and I could get farmed down. So I decide maybe I'll just let it go. I'll Dragon Breath down here. But the problem now is that dang Berserker is going to be a menace. It's going to be a menace to society. And I allow him to throw first, which I think is a mistake on my part. I'd rather have him shield before I have to commit a shield. Going for the superpower. Probably should be baiting here, but it is what it is. I get both shields. And now the problem is this Berserker is already at a close combat. So it's going to reach 2 close combats on my Reggie before I'm able to take him out. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just let one go because I know he's going to get to 2. Boom, it does like over half health. So unless there's like something our Registeel can one-shot in the back, this is looking very bad for us. I'm going to throw my Focus Blast. Slightly less energy. Take out the cat. And there's a DD in back. So if these two Pokemon were fully healthy, Reggie can probably win this in the zeros. But Unfortunately, we have been chipped quite a bit by Mr. Berserker, and we are in a tough spot. I thought about making like the catch, but it doesn't really matter. Psycho Boost takes us out, and he's got another one for our friend Dragonite. Probably could have played that game a lot better. I don't know. Maybe if I just simply stay in and play out that lead, I'm in a better spot. Kind of an awkward team, but a very cool team from Blue-Eyed Irishman. J. Louise, the next opponent. Good lead here against the Swampert. He swapped Stunfisk. I don't think this is the play. I was like farming up and then going Escav. The thing is, this isn't the most comfortable matchup for Escav, so I don't think it's worth doing what I did there. Luckily, I am able to shield an Earthquake, so that's pretty big. I throw on the charge move priority here. I'm hoping this Drarun is enough to KO. If it goes through, bang, it is. That's huge. This is not good, though. We get met by a Talonflame, so it's going to come out of here with lots of energy. And I'm like, okay, how the heck do I win this game? He's got a Talonflame with 4 Incinerates. I'm like, okay, I think I have to come in here with Reggie. Because I don't necessarily have to shield here. We eat the Flame Charge. I go for a Focus Blast. This is so awkward. He's at 90 energy, right? So he's one off double again. So now he's double boosted. He's got a second Flame Charge here ready to go. And I'm like, what's going to do more? This boosted Flame Charge or a Hydro Cannon? Probably the... I don't even know. Oh, wait. Oh, I screw up here. I could have farmed down. Oh, no. Oh, no. And I threw the game. Chat. Oh, my God. I'm so mad at myself. Watching it in hindsight, like, I clearly knew how much energy the Talonflame was at. During the battle, apparently I had just totally lost track. No reason. The Talonflame was dry right there. It needed 3 Incinerates. And not only did I not have to throw there, but I also let him sneak and Incinerate through for free. So just a double whammy misplay. Yeah. It happens. Easy win that I just threw the game. Comment, Rise is the worst battler in the world. In the comments. Might be a little too mean, but if we're taking a 1-game sample size there, arguable. Searching for the next opponent. Battle found. Not gonna try and pronounce that opponent's name. Scrafty, okay, this is fine. He swaps into G-Fisk. We meet it with the Escav. This team double weak to counter in the lead. I've been seeing so many teams that I'm like, whoa, like a Shadow Machamp would just run through this. I think a lot of other Pokemon, like Trevenant, have kind of pushed Shadow Machamp out of the meta. Drill Run coming through. Bang, it's enough to KO. That's huge. Scrafty comes back, and I'm like, what the heck? What on earth? I'm going for a Drill Run because I feel like he's likely to shield at this point. But he doesn't because he's a madman. I'm hoping I can somehow live this foul play. But I don't, so 2 very bad things occur back to back here. Let's see if we can still pull this off. In comes Nido. I'm like, oh gosh, this is kind of rough. So I throw the Claw, I get a shield. I'm like, this is really awkward, right? Because I can't take those oppressive jabs on my Dragonite, so I got to get out of here. I go into Reggie, who obviously doesn't have a great matchup here, but I'm thinking maybe if I can land a Focus Blast, I can win this. So this is a really pivotal moment. Shield or no shield? I no shield. I try and call it. It isn't Earth Power, so that's not good. I have to shield a Poison Fang here. So just put me way too low. In comes the Scraftmeister. I have to commit to the farm down. I'm like, please don't be the foul play. Please be a power-up punch. And he was one counter short of the foul play. So a very tricky endgame there that we were able to find the win condition. And Dragon Claw the Nidoqueen. Rise redeems himself after throwing the previous battle with a pretty nice win there. 2-3 that set, so not the greatest, but we will try and get back to positive in this set. I think at this point, the chat on Twitch was telling me I needed to change my team, so I went negative. I'm like, honestly, like, it should have been positive if I'd have won that one game. I'm like, I like this team, chat. I like this team. I'm going to keep running it for another set. So here we go. Turned on my my ring lights. Like, it looks super red. Dragonite versus Muck. It is Jab, so not the best matchup. I do make a nice catch here on what I assume is going to be a Dark Pulse. And he's staying in for a while. So my guess is he has some sort of hard answer to Reggie. This is an interesting decision by our opponent to build up there and then swap in Scrafty, because now I have all this energy to threaten the Scrafty. So I'm not convinced that was the right play by our opponent. Definitely going to let this go, because I'm probably only going to get to one move here no matter what. I let him do some more counter damage, so that way if he lets this go, he has less room to farm down my Reggie. He does decide to let it go. Very interesting. In order to not get just completely jabbed down there, I aggressively swap into my Dragonite. Land the Claw. I shield here, knowing I might get baited. But luckily he does Dark Pulse me. And it's a wall rain. I'm like, oh crap. Superpower right away. Only gonna get to one move. We grab the shield, and now this is gonna be close, man. This is gonna be close. Because Earthquake plus Icicle Spear KOs Escav, so I commit the shield. It isn't Earthquake, so that's massive. Gonna get off a drill run here, force that last shield. And I don't think our opponent can Earthquake and Spear at this point, so I don't think a catch here is necessary. I don't think he can land this and then still reach a Spear. I forgot how much energy the Muck had, so I just drill run here to be safe. Because I was confident Walreign's not going to get to a Nuke and a Spear. And we're able to counter all the way down Escavalier. Let's go, dude. Escavalier looks like one of those like jousters in the ancient times, the Colosseum. Searching for the next opponent, ladies and gentlemen. Escavalier starting to heat up. Who wants to take him on? Royalis the Beast wants to take him on. Trev, once again, where we want to see it in the lead. Another G-Fist. This one's shiny. Will it enact the super shiny bonus? We're going to shield, respect an Earthquake, and it is an Earthquake, so that's big. It's going to allow us to overfarm here a little bit more than we would have, as opposed to if it was a Rock Slide. I could have even done one more counter there if I wanted to. Drill run, bang. In comes Trev. I'm going to overfarm here just to try and like maybe throw off his counting. He shields the Mega Horn. And the nice thing here is at least I know he has to throw a Shadow Ball. He lets me get to another Mega Horn. Oh my gosh. But this is a little awkward because now this Trev has like infinite energy. So I feel like I'm forced almost to come in with Reggie here to absorb this. But depending on what's in back, this could be rough, right? Because if Dragonite is bad against whatever's in back, I could be in trouble. I swap. He lets me get off this Claw. Dragon Claw. Trev barely hangs on. And he swaps out. So I wasn't really sure if he had a move here. And at this point, this is actually critical, right? Because let's think about the situation. There's a really low Trevenant. I have a Registeel with some energy. I know at this point, Registeel can pretty much lock on down the Trevenant as long as I keep my shield, because the fast moves aren't threatening here from Nidoqueen. So if you're wondering, like, Rise, like, why not use your shield here? This, I think, was actually a really critical play where, ironically, if I shield here, and spoiler alert, I never end up using this last shield. If I had shielded here, I give the Nidoqueen an opportunity to take the Claw Poison Jab down and then get off a move against my Reggie. So I decide I can't shield this. I get off my Claw. This is going to give less farm to the Nidoqueen. I'm pretty sure even if I had shield, I'm only getting one Claw there anyway. We just got to take out this Nido. We get off the Focus Blast. Is Focus Blast going to be enough? One lock-on after, I think, did the trick. And then one lock-on on the Trevenant. So, ironically, that was a game that we won with a shield, where if we had used that shield, I'm pretty sure we lose. Isn't that kind of crazy to think about? We won with a shield, and if we had expended that second shield, I'm pretty sure we would have lost. Crazy stuff. Mind blown. Call Neil deGrasse Tyson. Show him the footage. He won't believe it. He'll say it's the best battle in the cause. Dr. Love is the next opponent. Feraligatr. So Feraligatr does have access to Ice Fang. So I stayed in just for a moment to see what it was running. It was Waterfalls. That's good for us. In comes Sylveon here. Obviously, we wall the Sylveon, so good opportunity to overfarm here. It's a little bit awkward, though, because we don't want the Feraligatr to get, like, a huge farm down. So I'm confident I can get to another move here. The unfortunate thing is Feraligatr is going to come out with a bunch of energy, so it's probably going to get a shield back. We get the attack debuff, which is nice. I figure, oh, we just barely don't get that. That would have been really nice. I figure it's most likely running Hydro Cannon Crunch. So I'm actually thinking, you know what? I'm going to call this. I don't think it's going to be anything super threatening. So I let this go. And of course, it's a double charm team. So we should be all right here up a shield. Our Dragonite, though, did eat a charm there, I think. So, this is a little bit scary because that Feraligatr is still a lot healthier than our Dragonite. And at this point, I kind of learned from that other game where I threw my move when I didn't need to. A little bit of mutual lag here. But I'm pretty sure it was all even here. And I'm actually not pretty sure. I'm very certain because I watched it back. We get the last shield. And we go for the Mega Horn here. Mega Horn should be enough to KO. Feraligatr's kind of like medium bulky. And we get the win. GG, pretty straightforward there. It's the tough thing with double charm teams, right? It really 90+% of the time is just a matter of team comp, where if your opponent doesn't have two charm answers, you're probably going to lose to double charm, or double charm is probably going to win, which is most of the time, right? And if they have double steal like my team, it's going to be pretty tough to beat my team. So it takes a lot of kind of like the skill out of the game, in my opinion, which I know sounds kind of harsh for double charm, but because that's what this game is, right? It's like decision making. It's like making these quick 50-50 calls. And I feel like when you're running a strictly fast move based team, you're just eliminating most of the decision makings to come through, which it's like, don't hate the play or hate the game. But I think that's why double charm gets a bit of a bad rap. And I don't think it's bad necessarily, especially for like beginner players, because it's a very simple strategy to learn, in my opinion. I think if you're like a newer player that's trying to learn the basics, you could learn the simple ABB style of double charm and probably win a lot of games. But you're also doing yourself a disservice where you're not really like learning how to use different Pokemon. You're kind of only like relying on one style. So it is what it is. Focus Blast coming through. Not going to threaten to KO Nido, but does some nice damage. Debating whether I want to shield. I do shield, and I get baited by a Poison Fang. Brutal. And at this point, I think this is game over because I used that shield. I really needed that shield for my Dragonite here to have a chance. So I'm still playing it out just to maybe try to pull some shenanigans, but I don't think there's a win con at this point. Very savage bait by the opponent. Very savage bait. Because if he had Earth Powered there, I think he wins anyway. But the Poison Fang was going to make it, was very risky. It was either going to give me a chance to win the game, perhaps, by going for the unnecessary bait, or in this case, is going to make this even more comfortable for him. Him or her, I should say. And Nidoqueen, I think, has the Earth Power now. So GG's. Well played. Let's see if we can finish off these 3 sets on a positive note. Try and get a positive set. I believe it's one more battle. One more battle. Ceballos. Okay, another Amok lead. You know, Dragonite really excels against Pokemon that have like minimal fast move pressure and rely on charge moves, because that's when your fast move Dragon Breaths are just so oppressive. So when Muck has Poison Jab, it makes it a lot more difficult. We get the attack debuff here on the first zap, which is huge because now I can tank 2 Shadow Balls quite comfortably, and I might actually be able to get shield advantage in this matchup. Another move coming through from Trev. I'm actually debating if I want to shield this, because if I can flip swap and get my Escav on the Muck, I feel like that would put me in a pretty good spot. And I get a shield back, which is even better than if he had let it go. I combo here. This is kind of risky. I'm not convinced this is the right play, because that doesn't KO. Do I just eat this? But he is debuffed. He's double debuffed. So I hang on. I live the Shadow Ball. He gives up swap. And I'm like, okay, my Reggie is healthy enough that a Dark Pulse will not KO. So I actually decide to come in with my Reggie. And this game likely will come down to whatever's in back. I'm thinking like, okay, he's weak to Swampert in the lead. He's got a Trev. Maybe he's got like some sort of safe swap, like a Snorlax in back. Maybe it's a Walrein Trev. That's kind of what's going through my mind right now. Unfortunately, I'm going to get Acid Sprayed here, likely. Yeah, I get Acid Sprayed for the final matchup. I'm like, come on, Walrein. It is a Walrein. Is this still possible? I know he's going to try and catch here at some point, so I'm banking on that. I call the Spear. The next one's going to KO. I know he's going to catch. I have to shield at this point. I'm just hanging on this energy. I know he's going to catch. I wait for it, and let's go. We've got double moves. I go for the Drill Run here. And you can bank a Drill Run and a Mega Horn. So once I see he shields, I can go for my Mega Horn. And this will definitely KO. Bang. We take out the Walrus. In a bit of an awkward but a nice game there. Got kind of hard countered on the safe swap, but we're able to dance around it. And we end the session with a 4-1 here. Thank you guys very much for watching. I feel like my commentary was like a little bit off this video. I am a little bit under the weather. I got kind of sick last night, but I'm starting to feel better. Just slept for a very long time, and hopefully speedy recovery. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below. All comments are appreciated. They help out the algorithm. And subscribe if you are new. All that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.